How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have the brand new free-to-play Saiyan Saga team. This is a team that was introduced with the version 5.23 update, where they revamped the greatest warrior panel missions, basically giving us the freest way possible to get a free-to-play team. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's actually quite a good team. Like, they are insane. Arguably the best free-to-play team on release. I think the Ginyu squad might have been slightly better on release, but these guys are giving that team a run for their money. So we are going to check them out in this video. There's going to be a different kind of video, so to speak. As you know, we may do a couple runs for this showcase here and there, because the point is to show these guys all together in one. I mean, I don't really think it does each of these units justice to show them individually on like super specific setup teams, because really what you want to see out of this unit is what can they be used for as a free-to-play unit, as a free-to-play team. As a new person coming to this game, what are these units capable of? So we're actually going to run them on the version Z Goku lead, who is Saiyan Saga, for 130%, with the Gohan and Piccolo friend lead here. So this is going to be our setup for the team. This is typically how you would run it as a you know, free-to-play player trying to beat events with this team. You could swap these guys for the Int Yamcha. Either one works really, but using the Gohan and Piccolo as your friend lead will give you access to a revive, which is very, very helpful for the team. So let's go ahead, let's jump on in here.
Let's do this.
Okay, so we are going to take down the Legendary Frieza event for kind of the first little bit of this, just so you guys can see. And the real thing is like with this, right, once you start getting to the beginner and the intermediate and the advanced missions on that Greatest Warrior panel, you're going to be asked to beat a bunch of events. And as a new player, you're probably not going to have the ability to do that, except probably with this team. So let's go ahead and let's try this out here. Alright, so we do have our first setup here. So, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, like, with their links, like, they each share a pretty good hefty amount of links, right? Like, Krillin and Tien here share 4 links with each other. Everything except for Infighter, Telepathy, and Crane School. But, of course, Tien, who's typically going to be in the second or third slot, right? More than likely second. Your floating Chiaotzu is going to cover his other links. For Krillin, who's also kind of a floating unit on the team, he's going to pick up his links from your second slot Gohan and Piccolo. So, right, it actually kind of works out. So, taking a look at the defense here, right? Our defenses aren't the greatest turn 1. However, we have this guy here. So, Tien, I'm not going to go over the full passives here. You guys can check my Hidden Potential guide where I break down in full the passives here. I'm just going to kind of talk about it. Tien is your stacking damage unit, along with stacking defense. To add on to that, he's got 7% damage reduction as long as we pick up some Rainbow Key Spheres. So, if we're going to pick up 3 Rainbow Key Spheres with him, that's going to give him, right, we see his attack jump up, but it's also going to give him, right, 28% damage reduction, on top of the fact that he's about to greatly stack his defense. So let's go ahead and do, well, we'll keep Krillin on for this one. Krillin is the supporting unit of the team. He's going to give Saiyan Saga allies, which is everybody on this free-to-play team, 60% attack and defense. So he's going to be very, very necessary. Add on to that we do have support from the Gohan and Piccolo. The Tien here can take the Legendary Frieza for, look at that, 9 million turn 1 on this dude. Right? Okay, so we didn't proc our additional attack on Tien. He doesn't have any built-in additionals, but I did give him some. Okay, so not bad. We actually got some pretty good numbers out of these guys here. Right, and again, I mean, we're not on a full 200% team here. Alright, so I could put version Z Goku in the front here, but I do kind of... I'm pretty sure he's going to just... Well, I mean, this is typically what you do. So, basically, the way this is designed to work is you're going to have Gohan and Piccolo, right? They need to stack up. You can see that turn 1, they actually have some pretty high start of turn defense. And they have a bit of damage reduction since we have the Goku. But they still need to stack up. The version Z Goku has guard and stacks his defense as well. But he tends to taper off defensively. He can still keep building, but he tends to want to be moved into slot 2 after those first couple of turns, which at this point is where these guys want to go. So, you know what? Let's just keep them. We have Chaozu on the rotation here, who is giving Bond of Friendship, which is pretty much everybody here. I don't think... Are they on the category? Are they on Bond of Friendship? Let's check here. I don't think these guys are on it. Yeah, okay, so Goku is getting supported, right? I think Gohan and Piccolo are the only ones not on Bond of Friendship, but everybody else is. So let's stick Goku in front here. Alright, hopefully he doesn't end up killing. We'll let Gohan and Piccolo get the stack, right? So Chaozu is our floating support unit for the team. We can see here, right, the, pretty decent start of turn defense for both of our free units here. We do want them both to stack. They are... Goku, I believe, is greatly stacking on his 18 key, and then the Gohan and Piccolo as well. Or, no, they're just regular raising. Okay, so not bad on the attack out of Goku. I was a bit worried that we might kill him, but then I remembered we're not on a 200% lead, so we can actually allow these guys to stack up here. So that's good. Right, yeah, so these guys are raising normally, whereas Goku is greatly raising. We do get their additional attack. They do have built-in additionals. Hopefully we get the one more, so we get the full 60% raise. We do, right? So we're going to see these guys spin out of control very, very quickly. We are fighting extreme class enemies here, so that way the team can get the most out of its passive. Alright, here we go. So now we've got Yamcha and Tien here. So we've actually got 5 links with Infighter with Yamcha, right? So this is kind of how you want your rotation, right? You want Tien and Yamcha on one rotation. You want Krillin floating. You want the other rotation to be your Gohan and Piccolo and your version Z Goku. I could even say that after a certain point, you could just have the 2 Gohan and Piccolos together, or Yamcha. It depends on who you decide to bring. So, our Tien is at 200k with damage reduction, so we will get a little extra for grabbing that. We're going to take that with Yamcha, and so let's see how we do here. So, because Tien is, yeah, greatly raising the defense here. So, if we can get an additional super, that'll be pretty stellar for him. All right. I do have a little bit of dodge built in him, so we did move through this a little too fast. Yeah, but, I mean, Yamcha would have actually probably... Well, Yamcha would have been better here due to being type neutral. Okay, so you see, we didn't actually get it. Actually, we might... Well, no, you want... Krillin doesn't... Yeah, Krillin wouldn't have been good in slot 1 either. There we go. So, Yamcha, big damage dealer. He's going to be the biggest damage dealer, but he is a tad bit risky. There we go. Alright, so hopefully our Krillin dodges here. Doing some pretty good numbers. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we do have a revive this turn. Not really a big deal. So I am going to float off the version Z Goku because we actually do have... We have a full showcase of him, so we're actually just going to take him off here. Oh, man. See, I was hoping we could get the stack before we died here. Oh, wow, okay. Actually, they just straight up ate that. Okay, I wasn't anticipating them to do that. I figured that was going to do a little bit more. Okay, we get the additional super. Come on, give us the... Ah, we didn't get it. Okay, so we only got 1 stack out of them this turn. That's fine. Alright, well, version Z Goku's going to kill him, and he's going to get that. So we actually ended up didn't revive. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so now we've got these guys together. So we can actually put Tien to have all links active by doing this. And with Yamcha... Alright, so we have 70% damage reduction right here with Yamcha for this turn, so we can actually put him slot 1. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to... Really? Is it not going to grab? Okay, well, we'll get 2 Rainbow. Alright, so looking here, we can see their attack and defense. Alright, looking a little better. And then we'll grab this with Chaozu. So Chaozu is going to be a major detriment. He is the biggest liability on the team. That's hands down. He is a dodge or die unit providing 40% support, which isn't a bad thing, but it's something you have to remember that could cost you, depending on how it's handled. Alright, so if and when we make it back to this rotation... there we go. Good job, Tien. 9 million. We did finally get an initial, but we did not get it. Okay, so Tien should tank this with the damage reduction and the extra defense. Yep, double digits. Now we just need to make sure Chiaotzu dies. Or, not dies, but revives. Not revives. Dodges. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Dodge. 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 Yep. See? And then that's his roll, right? Alright, so we got another good setup here. Alright, we can see the defense coming out of these guys. It's getting better. Let's see here. Grab that with these guys. Alright, so like, look, attack and defense-wise, they've already surpassed the Gohan and Piccolo, and that's a rainbow friend, mind you. Right, if that doesn't tell you, and we're on a 130 lead for our own team here. If that doesn't give you an idea of just how good... come on, did we miss a super again? There we go. Oh my goodness, really? We could be stacking so much better if we weren't missing these supers. But still good, all things considered. Alright, very nice. Okay, so I'm really... Again, this is what I'm talking about. This event is not incredibly hard. Like most players right now, right, if you've been playing for a while, this is probably one of the easiest events we've gotten in quite some time. Alright, but as you can see here, let's grab that so we at least get 1. Let's do this. So we get, ooh, okay. Alright, we're going to float off the Yamcha here. And let's do that. So, because this is where the difficulty of the event ramps up. And so having a Yamcha is probably going to want to come off at this point. Now, the event's not terribly difficult. In fact, it's probably one of the easiest events. However, if you're a new free-to-play player, you probably don't have the necessary tools to beat this event. Now you do, right? Ginyu Force was going to be incredibly hard to do this with. But this team, right, as you can see here, right, we're at the full power Frieza phase, and we're actually doing really well. Like, I mean, Goku's going to tank this, which is the hardest. It hits almost as hard as the final phase, and Goku just tanks it like a champ. Yeah, so glad we floated off Yamcha, because Yamcha would not have eaten that super since he's type disadvantage here. Alright, we didn't get the critical hit. There we go. We get the additional super with Yamcha. He does get a bit of defense post-super, right, which is enough to tank the type advantage, but obviously pre-super is not going to be doing the greatest. Alright, so take a look. Taking a look here, we got 40% support. Like, we could have been over 500k defense, which I know that doesn't sound like it's a lot, But for a free-to-play team on a... For a free-to-play unit on a 130 lead here, this is actually pretty good. Like, this is... I don't think people are understanding just how good this is, right? A lot of people have probably already seen the showcases of the various units individually, seeing the crazy max potential that they're capable of, but I wanted to focus more on this showcase as, you know, what is this team going to look like as a free-to-play player who is running this team, right? You may not always have, right? You may be somebody brand new running this with version Z Goku as your lead. In fact, that's going to be the most likely case for most players, unless you're a veteran player who's been playing this for some time. I will do a separate video, I think, just kind of playing around with them, putting them on the STR Gohan or Yamcha's lead. I think that might be best case scenario here. Alright, so let's put version Z Goku in front here. Oh no, if we do that, Tien might lose a stack. Okay, let's just do this then. Yeah. Alright, but Tien's over 500k defense now. He's been getting a little bit better on the stacks than Goku was.
Time to get serious.
Or not, well, actually, yeah, the others. And that's only because his is a greatly raised, so he can stack. If the Gohan and Piccolo were actually getting their additionals, which we're getting really unlucky with those. If they were actually getting their additionals, they'd be stacking almost on par, if not more, faster than Tien. But since Tien greatly raises and they're not getting their additionals, he is actually stacking faster. Okay, so this brings us to the final event of the Frieza Legendary Frieza event. We can see that we're under 600k with damage reduction with these guys, so we're gonna stick them slot 1. I honestly don't care if we die. They've got their 3 links active with these guys. I actually thought they would share more links, right? But it does make sense, right? So again, like I said, what you really want is these guys with the version of Z Goku, because then they'll have 4 links. But that's not always possible. So we are going to take this. This is a pretty powerful super. I think it's a 1.2, 1.5 million. It's something like that. Yeah. Okay. So that can kill this team. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You do have access to a revive friend, which will help you.
Few months, they really weren't half bad. You'd better not die, Gohan.
Alrighty, so here we are. Alright, so we're gonna put version Z Goku in front. Pretty good defense here. We're going to grab that. I'm not going to use this active skill yet. If we end up coming back to this turn, I will use it. So we're going to put Tien here. We're going to get 3, count them, 3 Rainbow Keyseers. So we're going to look pretty good there. And then we're going to send Chiaotzu off with this. This is going to be a pretty good turn for the team, right? Because we've got 80% support here thanks to the Goku and to the Chiaotzu here. Right, plus we're facing an extreme enemy here, so Goku's kind of at his max passive. But he's not doing so well on the links, because he doesn't link that well with Tien. This is, I mean, this is just kind of crazy. There we go, 10 million on the Tien, so this is a really good turn for him. Right, it would have been nice to get that additional super, but I'll take it. 10 million is pretty good. There we go, and we actually get the additional. How does Chiaotzu get the additional super? Crazy. Alright, we get the dodge. Get the dodge. Alright, so we have the Gohan out now, actually. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. What is Krill? Where is Krill's dodge? He has 50% and then an extra 20, right? When they're attacked down. But, of course, we can't do that in this phase. Alright, so the thing is, if we put... How do we link with Gohan now? 3 links. 5 links here. How are we doing defensively? Actually, pretty... I mean, honestly, pretty good defensively, given the constraints of what we're working with here. My issue is that Gohan's going to kill. Alright, let's do this. Let's hope the defense in the 50% is enough, and then we'll let the Gohan wrap it up. Here we go. Okay, so they're starting to look pretty good. We're over 11 million. Again, for a free-to-play team on a 130 lead, that's the thing I have to keep reminding you. This is how you're probably going to run the team. If you're running all of them, until you build a proper team, until you get that Earthbred Fighters lead, or someone else who can do the job. This is probably how you're going to run the team, and if you're going to do that with the leader, you're going to have to drop one of the members, which obviously we're not. Oh wow, Krillin actually a lot better defensively than I thought. Okay, well, alright, we'll let version Z, or we'll let the STR Gohan finish things up here. Oh, sweet. Perfect. Okay, so we can actually have a great way to finish this up with version Z Goku's active skill. So just kind of final count real quick for the TN, right? If we just want to look at the numbers here. So 600k defense, just about. Goku with 700k with his guard, if we put him in slot 1. And then, of course, you know, this guy, you know, is pretty much what we've been seeing him at. He gets everything on super with the additionals that he does. That's kind of how he works. Tien stacking up, Gohan and Piccolo hitting over 10 million. Honestly, this is pretty good. So I'm actually very impressed. So let's just go ahead and let's let Goku wrap this up.
I don't think he can fight anymore.
And you'd be right, Goku. So, there you have it. There is the Saiyan Saga free-to-play team on Goku's 130% Saiyan Saga lead, under the Gohan and Piccolo's 200% lead. I mean, that's pretty good. It's really good. For a free-to-play team to be doing what we're doing here and taking down the legendary Frieza event, you gotta admit that that's pretty darn good. Is it going to be easier, and are they going to look better under a 200%? Of course they are. But the purpose of this showcase is to show them how exactly would you use them as somebody who just grinded them out. I think that's kind of the best way. If you guys want to see individual showcases for each one of them, sort of maxed out, you know, juiced up with whatever support and proper links we can give them, let us know in the comments down below. That might be something I'm willing to consider doing, but I really wanted to focus in helping out you new players out there who have pulled this team. Those veteran players who are watching this showcase, you can kind of see here, right? If they're doing all of this on a 130, give them another 70% and let's start talking, right? Now we're going to start talking about some really good stuff here. Like, heck, you don't even have to run the full team if you've got it as a veteran player, right? Like, as a veteran player, this team could easily be swapped in for the Gohan and Piccolo, or the Roshi, or your Earthbred Fighters through the World Tournament Goku. You could have, you know, the AGL Gohan and Piccolo on the team, and Tien, and then swap in, you know, summonable units for Yamcha, Chiaotzu, and actually, I would probably keep Krillin. He's actually pretty helpful for that support. So, I mean, there's a lot you can do with this team. It's very manageable. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and as you saw throughout this video, every unit plays a role on this team. No two units share the same role, right? You have your version Z Goku, who is your big hitter. I didn't focus too much on him because I wanted to focus on the others. We have our showcase for the Goku separately already, so the others, right? Each one serves a role. Gohan and Piccolo stack defense, become a wall, and eventually they don't stack quite enough from what we saw here to actually deal damage, but they're, they'll get there. They can there. Yamcha and Tien are your damage dealers. Tien also having the ability to stack defense to become a wall for his rotation. Very, very useful. Krillin and Chiaotzu being floating support. Everything the team needs. Everybody works within those parameters, even on a 130 lead. I think I might try to stream a couple runs with these guys against all of the panel missions like the Red Zone Omega and the Broly and a few other events. I may actually use a proper 200% lead for those, but even without it, I think it can be done. So I'm kind of just curious where you guys are at on this free-to-play team. Let us know your thoughts of them on the comments, right? So that is it for the video, guys. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, again, let us know, what do you guys think of the Saiyan Saga free-to-play team? And if you want to see individual showcases for each of them, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.